Have you wanted to optimize your LinkedIn profile? Today we're going to look at Joe Gulliver's profile in depth and walk him through the process.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends that won't be ya. Been bottom, but it's looking like they took a time out. Okay, I'm working on a Wednesday, then up again the next day. So-and-so is popping, man. I skip him like he leg day.
I posted on LinkedIn and said that we were going to go through LinkedIn profiles and offered up to you guys to book time with me, 20 minutes on the phone, to go through your profile in depth and optimize it based on what your needs are, what are you trying to do, sell stuff or get a job. And you guys responded with tons of interest and tons of requests. So in this video, we're going to go through one example of that, where we go from the beginning of a profile, talking about what we're trying to do with it, and go from top to bottom and exactly how to make the changes, what changes to make, and then how to employ and implement that out so that way you guys can get some value behind it. How's things going? How's biz?
Good. It's been a huge learning curve for me. Obviously, the first position in sales ever.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a transition from going from engineering and just kind of focusing on designing stuff to now selling stuff and setting up meetings, conversations, and just kind of create opportunities. But it's been good. It's been good. I've been loving it.
Dude, you got a lot of followers, man.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on LinkedIn. I've always liked LinkedIn. I've always liked the idea of creating a network, creating a following of people that share interests or just share the same kind of hobbies, careers, stuff that they do for a living.
I mean, Joe, you're already like a champ on LinkedIn, but we'll go through my spiel.
Well, to be honest with you, so I've done a little bit of update on my LinkedIn, but for the most part, I spend probably 80% of my LinkedIn time either on LinkedIn Navigator and I'm prospecting, and I'm really only on the main LinkedIn to do more research on clients. But
okay. So
in terms of my profile, it's pretty bland in my mind, but I figured, get somebody else's 2 cents.
Yeah, for sure. So the first part we start with is just starting at the top with the profile pic. That's user preference. If you want to change it to be something different, I think it's fine. But that's up to you. And then the background pic showing something that's relevant to what you do. There's really 2 options here. Either make it personal if you're into like favorite vacation spot, if you're into fishing, if you're into gaming, if you're into golf, anything like that. You could either go down that path of doing something that's more personal, or like what you have it with something business related, to where it's showing plastic parts. But that's kind of your choice to put there whatever you want. A lot of people go down the path of saying, I want to show more of a personal side, and I've got a picture of a place I like to vacation, or a sunset, or a beach, or something.
100%.
100%.
What are your thoughts about selling using your background picture, like putting an image in there that has text, that has more in depth?
Like how I have mine?
I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to that. Where kind of the picture itself is kind of like a business card per se.
Yeah, you can do that, for sure. It's really up to you which path you want to go down. Like if you're primarily using this for business, so if you want to create something that is like an online business card,
yeah,
you can certainly do that. Some people are like, I don't want to create that, or I don't want to be too selly. So I mean, yeah, up to you. You could either make it industry related, like a picture of some parts that you guys do. You can make it a business card type layout where if you don't have like Photoshop or anything like that, you could just go into like Canva, I think.
I can look into it. I mean, I definitely know that I can create something. I just,
yeah.
Again, I'm like, in my mind, it's on the border of almost like too selly, due to my profile is like more selly than it is personal.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of on the fence. I don't want to cross the border of my profile looks like an infomercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say for yours, either make it pictures of arrays of different types of parts that you guys do, like how Shauna has hers.
Yeah.
Or do it to like, if you love golf, like a picture of the, hole number 6 at TPC or some place that you've golfed at. Like, just make it relevant to like something cool.
Absolutely.
So that handles that. The next spot, most important, is that headline. So you might have seen in our other videos why it is, but I'll just review it again. So when you're going to try and grow your network, what they're going to see is, like when I go into my connection requests, when you send out these connection requests, they're only going to see the first like half of your title, of your headline. So you want to make sure that it's relevant. For you, I would put, let me see, product design development for medical, aerospace, automotive, beverage, industrial. You guys only do thermoforming, right?
I mean, so like my position and like my career is based around thermoforming and plastics, but our company does indoor and outdoor signage. But since I don't sell for those industries, I kind of just keep it specifically towards thermoforming and plastics. Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, I would say something like thermoforming. I would put that first in here.
Okay.
Something like thermoforming, or custom thermoforming, plastics, and then put a vertical bar in, or a dash or something, and then you can say like medical, aerospace, automotive, beverage, industrial. So that way, if you send me a connection request, I would see custom thermoforming, like plastics, and then
Okay, I got you.
and then so I'm gonna be like, okay, he's doing thermoforming. I'm an engineer that does thermoform parts, or I'm a purchasing person that purchases thermoforming. I'm gonna want to connect with him. And then after that, you can put stuff after it that says like, you could then end after you do your industries. You could do a vertical bar here, and then say like OEM account executive. Or if is there a territory that you cover? You do the whole U.S.
I do the whole U.S. for OEM.
Okay, so I would put like national OEM account executive, because they know what it is. Like they know that they're an OEM. So
Absolutely. And OEM account executive is so vague anyway. I mean, for every industry, I could be selling, pencil erasers and could be having the same thing.
right, that's where I'm surprised Everbright doesn't do something like business development. That's kind of the trend that started 3-4 years ago in plastics. Was everybody was a business development manager, business development specialist is kind of the lower end of that. To where you don't have to say like OEM, but putting the thermoplastics up front, because if you send me a connection request, I'm gonna be like, okay, this dude's in plastics, but I don't know what kind of plastics.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And thermoforming is not as common as injection. It's a specific niche industry that you want to go into. Not everybody has a thermoforming need. Point being,
Absolutely.
even in medical, right? Like medical device, yes, but implantables, no, obviously. So when you're going after people, they need to see that thermoforming.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. Absolutely.
Next section into your summary, you got an ME degree?
So I don't have an associate's degree. I started some courses in mechanical design and engineering.
Yeah.
And that was when I was at my last employer. They encouraged me to take some courses, and I did. I did not continue through and get a degree due to the fact it just wasn't as beneficial at
Yeah.
the time. I had more experience than I needed at college.
Yeah, I did the same shit, so I know how it is.
Prefer free education.
Yeah, and what you learned at work, like once you get to a certain point, you don't need the piece of paper anymore. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. One thing that your OEMs, your potential customers, probably, I'm assuming that they love, is the fact that you're technical, right? Do you ever
Absolutely.
get? Okay, so I would put that. I put that first, like technical sales engineer, or over X plus years engineering experience now working with OEMs to solve their thermoforming needs or supply chain thermoforming, like putting stuff in there, because they're gonna like that. And I would put that in the first sentence. Touch on the fact that you're an engineer, that you have technical experience, because for the most part, your competition in the thermoforming space is older dudes. How old are you? When did you graduate? You graduated high school in 7 or in 11?
I'm 25 right now.
Okay.
I'm a little bit young.
No, you're all good. I actually got my first plastics job when I was 24, I think, in sales, and didn't know shit about injection molding. I was in charge of like 16 million in spend, or in sales. And I didn't know the difference between an injection molding machine, thermoforming, extrusion, nothing.
Learn as you go.
Exactly. So touching that in there, because your competition is older dudes that are way too technical, like just do that show up and throw up, like just impress people with all this technical skill set they have, or people that don't know any technical but are good at sales. So you want to touch on the fact that you've got the engineering experience, because anybody in purchasing and supply chain is going to want to deal with somebody that can answer the question and not say, let me check with the plant and get back to you. Like, oh, I don't know if we can do that. Let me check with engineering. I don't know, like, Joe, what do you think about changing this part to look like this? If you know that you can't do that from a tooling standpoint or it's not manufacturable, you're way more valuable to that OEM than if you're like, let me check with the design engineer. So you want to touch on that in the front,
Okay.
and then touch on your experience. Like, for the purpose of what you're using LinkedIn for, I would talk more about your experience and knowledge in thermoforming first, then go into the expanding my LinkedIn network, stuff like that. I think this personal about you is good. I like how you got the email and the work cell phone.
So the reason that I put the extra contact information in there was I feel as though so many people don't have contact information on their added to their profile, even though I do. I feel like if somebody's already reading the about me, it's nice that it's at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good move.
And then the links, LinkedIn, they really don't have a good system when it comes to the links and attachments and stuff like that. So, I mean, some stuff it's good to view on desktop, some it isn't.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it on a phone, it's not going to be as best of quality, and then a lot of them will have there'll either be a link or something to a post or something if I did post something. Otherwise, it's just the picture.
Right. No, I think it looks good. I think your summary section is good. Let me just check your. So one thing, so you've got the custom URL, right? You've changed that, Joe Glover OEM.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. The other thing I would say is go under the same spot where you changed that when you click on in the upper right hand corner, edit public profile and URL.
Okay.
Go in that, and down here make sure that you've got your profile's public visibility to be on. And then make sure you have all these boxes checked saying that people can see this in public.
So I am public to my knowledge currently.
So scroll down. What does it say with headline, websites, posts? Does it say show or hide?
It says show.
Okay.
Or all of them say show all the way down.
Okay. That's how you want it to be. Because when you send that connection request to somebody and they look at your profile, like if I want to look at this guy's, if he's got all of his stuff blocked, then I can't see. So he has his stuff blocked. Either he's not active on LinkedIn or he has his stuff blocked to where I can't see it.
I got you. He's only showing certain things.
Exactly. And you want to just show everything because you're trying to sell to people. So you want them to be able to see 500 plus connections, where you work, your profile picture, background, summary, and you've already got it set up, so you're good.
What are your thoughts thoughts on articles. So I've thought of writing articles. I don't know really the success or how to, like, if I should write an article based on like a case study almost and just have it be like a public case study.
Yeah, articles
I'm kind of
articles are
unsure on-
huge. Articles are huge. Because if you write an article right now, I'm going to get notified up here in my notifications.
Okay.
So
Like, so all my connections get notified, or just all my followers, or?
it'll do a touch of them. It'll do a sample size. So like writing articles is great, because one, just like how it looks here. Articles are always on the left, and then you got your feed here.
Yeah.
It looks good from a profile standpoint, and a certain group will be notified that you wrote an article, and they can go and look at it.
I gotcha. I'll have to start on something there.
Yeah, I think if you have the time to do it, or if you have stuff that you can use, definitely write an article. Or just use something existing. So like what we do with our clients is she could take the content that we write and post it on LinkedIn as her own article. What you're trying to do with the profile is make yourself look like a subject matter expert in whatever it is that you do. So if you've got case studies, if you've got stuff, even in your personal time, if you want to write an article about like why it's awesome to work in plastics, or stuff that you learned from a technical standpoint, or anything related to your personal, like things that you've learned or gained or experienced, putting those in articles is great too. From an activity standpoint, you're active as hell, so we don't have to go into that. From an algorithm okay, so one thing with activity, so I'm assuming you're primarily trying to go after like engineers and purchasing people and operations guys, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, in terms of like my activity, I normally try to keep it like industry based. So I mean, I'll follow anything that's like upcoming news, like one in my region, like within 500 miles of Wisconsin, basically.
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, I'll follow the hashtags that are industry based, whether it be thermoform, plastics, injection molding, like even like competitive industries.
Yeah.
I'll follow those, and for the most part, if I have time to read an article or read a post, I'll try to engage with it to some degree. I don't go too in depth in terms of private messaging people about their posts or anything to that degree. I just kind of keep it plain and simple, and I spend a very small amount of time doing that. I just try to touch up on it every time I open the page.
So what I would say is, as you're engaging with or adding connections and continuing to blast out the LinkedIn profile.
I guess a question regarding the LinkedIn profile that would be a good one to ask you is, due to my age and kind of my experience, do you think it's even worth adding my the year I graduated or any college stuff on there, or do you think it's kind of kind of irrelevant? I mean, I wouldn't even put this stuff on a resume.
No, I think I think what you have here is fine.
Okay.
I think it's fine because they're going to look at like, okay, drafter, CNC programmer, CAD designer, CNC project engineer. Like they're going to say you're technical. Like they're going to be like, this dude's technical.
Absolutely. Stay in touch. I'll continue to follow your stuff, and then if I have any questions or something, man, I'll reach out. But,
all right, for sure.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for chatting with me real quick, and looking forward to seeing more stuff.
All right, man. Take care. Just had a great call with Joe. He's killing on LinkedIn. Had a couple key questions and things that he wanted to look at. We did that. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. If you did, hit that like button. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below, and we will see you on the next one.